Well, East Kilbride, happy 75th birthday, and aren't you looking in your prime? East Kilbride Library, my second home. I mean, I love libraries anyway. I'm such a bookworm, and what I loved about that was the range of books, but also the help that you got. You know, if you went in there, I always remember going in there, have you got any books on Ernest Shackleton? Or have you got any books on, you know, whatever it may be? I'm really interested in Alaska. I'm really interested in Singapore. Have you got anything on that? And local history as well. And they would just go, yeah, and you got loads. And what I really like about the library now is the way that it has expanded and the way that it has embraced new technology, as well as obviously there is nothing like curling up with a book in your hand, but also the way that they have, like, my mum's in a book club, loves it. She absolutely loves it. It gets her out the house, she gets to read books, she gets to meet new people. The library is the heart of the community, it really is, and East Kilbride is a very, very special one. I read, Rosie, an awful lot of books that I read myself. I mean, there was new ones that I read. I remember Each Peach, Pear, Plum, I had to read about 150 million times, and that's okay. I mean, I just piled her with books because I grew up with books everywhere. So I even got her read books that you could, you know, there was ones that they're cloth and the kids just eat them. Yeah, she had them. And also Just William, I love Just William. I used to borrow Just William books out of the library. Yeah, anything really, just loads and loads of books that I read, lots of fairy tales, lots of nursery rhymes and all of that, and that was great because without pushing her, I just would leave books around and she would just pick them up and read them. And that's the best gift you can give to your kid, is a love of reading. Yeah, I think growing up, 1984 was a big book for me, and because I studied Russian, I read War and Peace, and I eat books, but I read that, it took me a while, but I did read that, I do remember that, and anything about Antarctica. I read South by Ernest Shackleton. I've still got that book by the side of my bed, and it's one of my favourite books. And The Worst Journey in the World was a really good one as well. So yeah, I just found books just take you to another world, and it's an escape, and you learn so much. You don't realise how much, and when you're a kid you're just absorbing it all like a sponge. It's fantastic, and that's why libraries are so important, because they feed that, you know, they sort of, and especially librarians are really good at seeing somebody, you like this one, well you might like this one, and that's really good because then you're away down another rabbit hole, which is wonderful. Right now, yes, Marion Keyes, I'm reading the new Marion Keyes book, and I've loved that, and part of my job, which is a real perk for me, is that I get to read books when they're you know, before they come out, almost, because I'm interviewing the authors, and also I get to see movies before they come out, which is wonderful, and that's a huge, I mean, for me that's a huge perk. So yeah, the new Marion Keyes one is good, and I'm also reading, Sir Earnest Shackleton has written a fantastic book about Shackleton, and I thoroughly recommend it. I'm rereading that one again, and I've just read, again, you know, I've just read, Tina Brown's just written a book about the royals, so I was reading that. That was just gossip and wonderful, and you just like, oh, this is great, you know, she knows everything. You feel like you're a fly in the wall finding it all out. I think the book I do go back to a lot is South, the Ernest Shackleton book. I do, I find it quite comforting, and I find his whole story amazing, and I was really lucky that we went down to Antarctica and we followed in his footsteps in a much bigger boat. In a much bigger boat, a bigger sort of icebreaker thing, and that was incredible. That was such an amazing experience. I'll never forget my first iceberg. So my first iceberg, and that was it's in my head. I didn't take a picture of it, but I've got the picture in my head. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. We went to Ernest Shackleton's grave and drank a big giant glass of whiskey, because you have to, it's the law. I was very emotional in South Georgia. It was incredible. So yeah, that's my go-to book. Excellent. My comfort. Hi there, well done everybody at Curtin Home, at Half Merk, St Louise's, St Kenneth's, Murray and St Mark's Primary School for all taking part in the poetry competition. Well done. I particularly liked the poem that Evie did, and she's got a line in there about East Kilbride being as old as her grandpa, 75. And Daisy's poem about all of the roundabouts are, my husband is Dundonian, so he calls them circles. He calls them circles, Daisy. But yeah, there's roundabouts nearly every road. You're quite right, Daisy. It makes East Kilbride even more special.